Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the young gunslinger Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs take on Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they come in off the extended break from the bye.
I think it was much needed as well. You play 2.5 months, you're ready for some time off to get set for the home stretch.
Now, you ready?
On the carry, here's Marshawn Lynch. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw his Carr, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Fielded just inside the 20. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
This is West. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
On third down, it's West, and he will have a first down here at about the 40. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
On first down, Mahomes. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in in the production.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. And now Oakland ready to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On second down, Lynch. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run again on first down, Lynch. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Down! 180!
Carter gives to Lynch on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Carr now to throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Justin Houston in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. The running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, Oftentimes, the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll run it here with Hunt. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Obi Melifonwu with the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Flush to his right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. On 4th down is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep for the Raiders, Jalen Richard. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum? They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves them from a 3-and-out. 1st down, the run with Lynch. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Lynch running the counter. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, get it to...
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. They run for it with Hunt, and he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there. His second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. To throw, it's Carr. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll run to Marshawn Lynch. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Sharkandrick West heading back onto the field. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line because now if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have because when you see them approach, in order to bottle him up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to sip through.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he's brought down. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. Well, so much for keeping him under 100 yards, Charles. You said earlier they needed to keep him in the double digits. Last run puts him over 100 already.
Yeah, we're still in the first half. Long way to go.
And it's complete to Kelsey. And down inside the 15 he goes. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down. Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Here's West. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Charkandrick West, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Butker now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Down. 185. Down.
On 3rd down, they go Lynch. And down he'll go at the 25. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. This will be fielded at the 17. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. To the right side, it's Kelsey. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Mahomes. And he finds Jason Morrow. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him a gain of 37. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And Butker able to put this. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. On the return, here's Kerwin Williams. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Flushed out right. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time, and it's second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss up 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. Steps away to his left. Amaro's got it, left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Caught, Kelsey, left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And able to find Conley. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
He gets his first catch there, but all in all, when you're talking about the #1 receiver in the NFL coming into this game, and we're just talking about the first catch there, I think they're doing a nice job of bottling him up.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
On the run, this is Hunt. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 3rd down, it's Hunt. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Here's a carry for the former Dolphin. It's Damian Williams. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis. Kelsey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs just continue to pour it on. And now it's blocked. This is going the other way. And he gets it past the 30, but not much further than that. And the extra point attempt snuffed down.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now? Much more of a field goal attempt. And the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
Down! 180!
They go play action here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Down! 280!
Carr gives to Marshawn. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Down! 280!
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he finds Cook. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Allen Bailey in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Out comes Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs offense. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off for the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. And it sets them back for second down. Now a play fake here on first down. And the Raiders have got him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you evolved. You've learned how to play it the Madden way.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. To throw, it's Mahomes. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Intentional grounding, offense.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. They'll look to set up his blockers. So out come the Raiders. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. If he's their best threat on offense, use your number 1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. to throw again. Carr. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. A good pickup there at 22.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and now it's second down. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now Carr out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let them bleed the game out that way.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Handoff comes to Lynch. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. On second down, here's Carr, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about.
Pass interference, defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Here's Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. On play action, now Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Myers able to knock it through. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it. And
I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They run again with Hunt. And some space here. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1. The Chiefs on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. This is Hunt. And he's got room. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
56, Mike, 56, right there.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes shakes off the sack, escaping the pressure right. Flush to his right. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. A toss play to Hunt, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
To throw his car. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by David Amerson. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here's Hunt. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
That's just simply not right. To make that kind of a catch, that spectacular, and not get a first down out of it.
I guess he could put it on his personal highlight reel, however.
Yeah, he'll get the catch. He'll get the...
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And Roberts with it over the middle. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Over the middle, complete. That's Roberts. And down inside the 15 he goes. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. And that one hits the ground incomplete. So now just 4 ticks left in this one. One final try now for Carr. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a KC touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And if the late touchdown wasn't bad enough, now they're going to go for 2. So sportsmanship nowhere to be found right here. Throwing now is Mahomes. And they're just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But